What's up, everybody? It's Vice here, and I'm here to talk a little bit about YouTube and Twitch and content creation and stuff like that. So I thought that it would be an interesting video for the long-time viewers of the stream and people who are used to watching me on YouTube Live who might want to hear why I decided to make the shift to Twitch and why maybe perhaps what I learned from streaming on YouTube Live and how it all works. So look, I've streamed on YouTube for about a year, and the way I got started was I was a Twitch streamer about a year ago, and then as a regional championship was about to come around, I decided, hey, you know what would be a good idea? What if I hid my online testing but still streamed it somewhere so people who were kind of interested could follow along and watch? And so that's what I did. I streamed on YouTube Live to just give it a go because I was kind of curious about it too. I kind of wanted to give it a try, and you know what, I decided never to leave. I decided I'm just going to stop streaming on Twitch, stay here on YouTube Live, and just keep all of my stuff together. You know, it kind of makes sense. If you want to follow my brand, it's easy to know. Go to youtube.com/vicegames and you'll find my live streams. You'll find my video deck profiles, my talks, like the one that you're listening to here, all of that sort of thing. So at the time, it made a lot of sense. But what I figured out over that span of a year, and what I sort of realized after coming back to Twitch, is something that's really obvious. It should be really obvious. If you stand back and think about it logically, people go to YouTube to watch videos, people go to Twitch to watch live streams. And so to go a bit further on that, to think about it a step further, on Twitch, you compete with other live streamers, whereas on YouTube, you're competing with high quality production videos that are designed to be watched through YouTube, and your expectation as a viewer is already set by all these high quality videos that my little rectangle and thumbnail and stream title gets placed in amongst. You know, there's no like live stream category that sort of makes sense to click into. I know that there are live stream categories on YouTube, but it's not featured prominently. So they talk about discoverability, right? My live stream on YouTube just gets lost in a sea of other things that YouTube is designed to try and hook you into and hold your attention with. It thinks that you may not want to watch my video, but maybe you do, so we'll put it down in a corner over here. But here's like, you know, a 20-minute documentary about some sporting event or some news event or something or other that you might find more interesting. You know, I've got to compete with creators that have millions of subscribers on YouTube, so it doesn't necessarily equate to a, you know, discoverability in that sense, right? So I'll read through. Actually, I've got a little bit of a script of things that I was going to tweet these things, but after about a year of streaming, you know, competitive, fun gameplay on YouTube, so all about Pokemon TCG, I decided to switch back to Twitch and see what would happen, right? And to be honest, it's been an immediate like success story for me, because my first stream back, I felt like I had twice as many live viewers, right? My first stream back. It's crazy. And these are my thoughts about it and why. So yeah, as I mentioned before, people watch Twitch for streams. They're already preconditioned, like, I'm going to go into this category for a game that I'm interested in, and I'm going to watch somebody live stream that game live, right? You're preconditioned to go looking for it on Twitch, whereas on YouTube, you sort of expect to open the app and watch something that you're interested in, and you trust YouTube to serve it up to you. And so I think for me, as sort of like a small creator, it makes sense if I'm creating here on Twitch, if I'm creating live content here on Twitch. And then likewise, sort of being separate from my peers in the streaming space during that time that I was on YouTube, it sort of becomes harder to leave impressions on the people that I want to capture, right? Because I think in our niche here, so here with the Pokemon TCG sort of competitive gaming sphere, right? And I use competitive loosely, I would sort of broaden that to include just anybody who's interested in playing the card game, right? In this niche, people want to go looking for quality gameplay or interesting commentary, interesting ideas. See, like the thing with the Pokemon TCG is that like the game changes all the time, and it's kind of like a blessing when it comes to creating content in the sphere, right? New cards get revealed in Japan all the time. Quarterly, they come out in the West, right? The metagame shifts. Tournaments happen, and like big name players make a splash with like really cool ideas and stuff like that. It's always like constantly evolving. It's a bit of an information war. People really want to like try and get ahead of the curve, and information is the way that you do it. And the natural end game of that, I think, is to go looking for somebody who is live and testing right now, right? If you think about what we push for with tournament registrations, right? We want to be able to submit our deck lists at 3 a.m. the night before. And here's the reason why. It's because we stay up till 3 a.m. testing our ideas and like constantly evolving. And what the deck list that we want to submit on the day is the deck list that we've had the maximum amount of time to evolve. And it kind of, I like to think that that kind of translates to the viewing habits of people who are interested in playing the Pokemon TCG, right? You want to hear about things that are as recent as possible. You want to see the latest iteration of the best deck lists, or you want to see a deck list idea that you haven't had enough time to come up with on your own. So I think all of these things sort of pushed me in the direction of coming back to Twitch and trying it out here, being in the sphere, trying to go it alone on YouTube Live. You don't really feel like you're side by side with your contemporaries, the content creators that I look up to and look to for inspiration and see what content creation is like in the sphere. All these big content creators are all over on Twitch, and even medium-sized and small creators like me, where they're all on Twitch. I'm by myself on YouTube. Nobody knows that I'm there except for my subscribers and people that YouTube thinks might decide to click on my name. If you think about the category of Pokemon TCG Live, it's pretty small. So I have sort of like a unique opportunity, whereas they say like discoverability is impossible if you're a guy like me playing Valorant and you're way down the list of live streams and they all look the same. All of this is to say that I think that for the health of my brand as a live streaming channel, Twitch is a sensible home for what I do. And more to the point, it even helps my YouTube videos do well because they aren't competing for space with the live streams. You know, if I continually put out thumbnails of my live streams and they're not reflecting well on my channel, and YouTube begins to think, hey, people aren't really clicking on the live stream, so we might not serve up the video so much. It actually, I don't know if like I really have the evidence to say that this is correct, but when I look at my analytics, you know, my subscriber count is actually climbing for the first time in like 5 months. It feels like forever I was sitting between 1,370 to 1,400 subs because I would gain a couple, I would lose a couple, and I'd gain a couple, and I would lose a couple on YouTube. Ever since this change to Twitch, it has just gone up and it has continued to grow. You know, my deck profile videos are gaining 300, 350 views. It's, you know, it's small. Like it seems ridiculous to talk about hundreds of views when you think about the sphere of YouTube and the big, you know, the grand scheme of things where people are getting tens of thousands of views on their videos, especially the really popular and successful creators. Azul, you got Tricky Jim and Little Dark Fury and all sorts. Okay, so maybe I'm not exactly standing shoulder to shoulder with titans like that, but what I'm trying to say, for the people that have been invested in the brand that I've tried to build over the last couple of years in the Pokemon TCG space, or at least long enough to have watched me on YouTube Live before I came here to Twitch, what I want to say is that with all this, I think that it makes sense that I'm here on Twitch. I may continue to do YouTube Lives once in a while, just for fun. but knowing that it has been successful here, it just makes sense. All right, it just makes sense. Look, those are my thoughts about it. I'm probably going to be here on Twitch for the long term. If you're interested in what I'm about, I do deck profiles, I do gameplay of Pokemon TCG, right? They'll be competitive. They'll be not competitive, rogue, fun. Okay, we'll do user submissions, viewer battles, the lot. Okay, if any of that appeals to you, consider following me here on Twitch or subscribe to me on YouTube, youtube.com/ViceGames. And I'll see you in the next live stream or video. So if this becomes a video, have a good one. I'll see you in the next one over on Twitch or here on YouTube. Thanks.